a thing. So I'm going to go ahead and record this so I can post it. So as I was looking through stuff for the last couple of days, I just saw some things that I wanted to make sure that we were all on the same page about. So the first thing is, and I guess the biggest thing for me, every morning I have to take roll for the previous day. And the way that I do that is I go into Canvas and I scroll through what you've submitted. And that gets tricky when we've done something in AP Classroom if you didn't submit something to Canvas, right? So I know a lot of people have had problems where, you know, they get out before they take a screenshot or something like that. So really, as long as you send something in on those days when we do work in AP Classroom, because I'm going to go to AP Classroom to actually grade this stuff and look at it and give you feedback. So a screenshot or a screenshot that says you submitted it, or even just, you know, typing in Notability and saying, hey, I did it, and submitting that, just so there's something there for me to go, because otherwise I have to go to both Canvas and AP Classroom to take roll. And that gets to be a nightmare for me because I have to do that for 5 classes. Well, I guess only 2 for AP Classroom, but still. So if you guys can make sure that you're staying on top of that for me, for the most part, people are really doing a good job doing that. But we do have a few outliers who are getting work done, which is fantastic, but I'm having to go and find them, either looking through, like if they got onto Canvas at some point, or if they're on AP Classroom. So if you or one of your friends has a tendency to do that, you know, maybe set yourself a reminder. And the other tricky thing about AP Classroom is it closes at 11:45 p.m., whereas Canvas assignments close at 11:59 p.m. So you need to make sure you give yourself that extra time, especially when we're doing more writing type stuff, which is a lot of what we're going to be doing over the next little while. And I'm going to try and keep it parsed down, kind of like today is the biggest one that we should do for a while. We'll have like 3 or 4 in the next 4 weeks where you'll actually write an essay, so I can give you some more feedback on that. But other than that, it's going to be pieces of essays so that I can give you feedback on thesis statements and claims and evidence and conclusions and stuff like that in a more snapshot way. But especially when you know it might take a little bit longer, maybe set a timer or set a reminder to get on at 10:30 if you're one of those people that likes to get on really, really late. Because that, I think, has been a problem for a few people where they're working, and then at 11:45 it kicks them out because it's now locked. So I did go ahead and unlock yesterday's just because I want to look at those claims. I want to look at those. So if you were one of the people that got kicked out, go ahead and get back in and do that. I'm probably going to make today's open through tomorrow just so you have that time. Please don't do work on Saturday. I want you to have a day or 2 to yourselves. But in case there's some of you who, you know, like to get on really late at night, I'm going to make that an AP Classroom, so it'll hopefully be open a little bit longer for you, okay? Okay, so the other things that I wanted to talk about, obviously we're doing a lot of test prep over the next few weeks, and then we, depending on what happens, no matter what, you'll be taking the test on your personal device, and it won't have a multiple choice section. And they've made that so you could take the test on your cell phone. Now, is that ideal? And no, you all have iPads, so no, don't take the test on your cell phone. But there are some people out there in the United States who signed up for the AP test who don't have an iPad, and so being able to take the test on their cell phone is helpful. Okay, so I don't know why. Whoop! I just unmuted you, Crystal. It's like stuck on Avery's face, but. Okay, now what I wanted to go through really quickly is some stuff that's going to start happening next week. So starting next week, I'm going to make this, oh, it's just Avery. Well, we'll go back like this. I have put together, and this is not published for you guys yet. It will be published on Monday, but based on the feedback I got, some people were like, yeah, it'd be cool to work with both periods, but overwhelmingly people wanted to just work with their periods. So I went ahead and put together some writing groups for this week, and each week you'll get a new writing group from your period that you'll need to check in on Monday to kind of see. And so for instance, here's 3rd periods groups and an 8th period. Ooh, you got a preview, so exciting. But what's going to happen is when you see this, let me make this a student. Well, if I make this a student view, you won't be able to see this anymore. But if you look over here on this side, all of these that don't have the little I with the slash through them, you can see those. So this collaborations and chat link right here are things we need to start using a lot more. So the chat link, I've been using it during my office hours, and I don't know that many people have even noticed. So just so you can see, you can actually create a chat with other people in the class. So if you need to collaborate with a group or something like that, you can do that. But also between 9 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. and then 3 p.m. and 4:30 p.m., you can get a hold of me here. If you don't want to send me an email or something like that, you can just chat in there. So that's an important thing to see. And you can see the only person online right now on the chat is me. But then also this collaborations, I recently stumbled upon this, and it's actually pretty great. Right now there's only one, but there will be all, you know, as many as there were in that group. So anyway, I've only created one, but I will create one for everybody. And what it is if you click on it, it takes you to a Google, it's a Google Doc. Can you see this still, or are you still on the other one? Okay. So, and it's blank, but everyone in this third period group 1 is going to have access to this. I have access to it as the teacher, but also, so I'm trying to remember the people in third period group 1, I think were Michaela and Maria, Blaine, and Grace, I think. And so they all have access to this Google Doc. So when we're doing a group writing, you can use this Google Doc to do that. So you can do some chatting, you can write some stuff, have people comment, things like that. So this is where we're going to be doing some of that, okay? And so like I said, when you go into this on Monday, there will be a number of third period groups and a number of aids. And maybe it doesn't look that way for you. Maybe it only shows up if you're in a collaboration. That's actually a good thing for you to let me know, because I don't know if I'll be able to see it that way, because that's so specific to you as students. So let me know if it just shows the collaborations that you're in. But that will be there. You'll have the link to the Google Doc. If you feel like something else would be more useful, you can create a group me, or you can, use that chat feature, because we will have not a ton, but a couple of activities where it would be helpful to be able to have peers to work on things with you. And so I've put you into these groups. The first week, we'll use these groups, and then I don't know, if they're working really well, we might stick with those groups for a couple of weeks, but then we'll switch it up, because I want to make sure that you're getting a lot of different peer involvement. And that'll make it so that I can look specifically at, these different groups and say, okay, well, it looks like group 1 is having a hard time integrating their evidence really well. And so I can spend more time with group 1 working on that, whereas maybe group 3 really needs help with their thesis statements, and so I can really tailor some of that based on, the things that I'm seeing in those groups. And that'll make it so that we can even maybe have some Zooms based on your group needs. Maybe I'll be like, okay, groups 1, 5, and 7, make sure you watch this Zoom or come to the live Zoom where we're going to talk about, making our conclusions really strong or something like that. Does that make sense? So those are the things I'm hoping to do with some of this collaboration. I have scheduled our online class as if we don't come back. Now, hopefully it will be, after May 1st, we'll all be back there in the classroom together, and it will be really fun, because that'll make it so we can actually have our food day like we normally do after the test. So fingers crossed that will happen. But if not, after that week of the test, which remember is May 13th, we will start a choice book unit. So it's any book you want. So you can start thinking about that, what kind of book you'd be interested in reading and things like that. And then like the day before the test and the day of the test, your assignments, and this is if we're still at home and not back together, would be things like a text entry box where you say, I'm feeling, ready for this test, or I'm feeling a little nervous about this test, or whatever. And then the next day, I did it, it's over, whatever. So little something very, very short, should be very easy. And it'll be really chill. All of the things that we do after the test will be hopefully more fun. And I apologize that we haven't been able to do a lot of just really fun, like emotional health type things, because I know a lot of teachers are doing some of those things, but we just have so much we need to still make sure we're ready for that test. So that's why we're doing this. I'm hoping that The assignments are enough to prepare you, but not so much that you're getting overwhelmed. So if you start to feel like I'm, assigning too much, I need you to reach out to me and chat. Ooh, how exciting. Who's pushing back test dates? So they aren't all pushing back the test dates. Some of them are, but what is happening is they're going to have like different test dates available, but ours is still scheduled as far as what I saw for the 13th, but I will look into that and make sure. But I've been keeping up on that. The last thing I want to show you, you'll have to tell me if you can't see this in YouTube. And we're going to hopefully use some of these as actual assignments. So you'll just watch it, respond, get credit for the day kind of a thing. Let's see my subscriptions. Okay, so you can see all of the AP tests. Can you see this where I am in YouTube? Okay, so all of the AP tests have little like live nows. They have videos and things like that. And so you can scroll down, and I'll link this in Monday's assignment, but we have AP English Language Unit 9. Now, I don't know if you would need to spend a whole lot of time on this because the test is only going to go through Unit 7. And you're probably like, units, what? Well, I have a book of units that we've been working from this year. So we'll get through Unit 7 for sure. We're already almost through it. So, but you can see they've got all of these linked in here, and they will have some live review sessions through YouTube and things like that. So you'll be able to use those. Trying to remember if they had more than one. Well, that's not what we wanted to do. Look, they used Zoom too, so that's exciting. Okay, anyway, so I just wanted to make you aware of that. Oh yeah, here we have a list of 8 different videos so far of, test prep study stuff, and this has been put together by the AP people, so it should be very geared towards what we're needing to do for the test. But okay, that is all I have for today. I just wanted to talk about those collaboration groups for the writing groups next week, and show you this and remind you of how to make taking attendance way better for me. Anyway, questions? You all feeling fine? So yeah, Abby, I will for sure double check on that test date information. But yeah, there we are. Okay.